Hi, I'm Randy Altman with Post Perspective. We're here at SMPTE 2019. This is Pliny from Endcrawl. Pliny, you recently left HBO. You were a longtime post-production professional.
I did, yes.
Along that path, you discovered or created a company called Endcrawl.
Yes.
Can you tell people what it is?
Sure. So before HBO, I had a post-production boutique, and we did a lot of feature film posts. One thing that always was a thorn in everyone's flesh was the end credits process. It will be revised hundreds of times. There's always a lot of politics that go into the process. There's always another typo. Most films don't have distribution when you start, so we'll see our customers typically still revising their credits 6, even 12 months after their festival premiere. You take it on the road, you eventually make a sale, then you have to go and name check 4 more people in your credits. So that was one thing I looked at and said, I think we can automate this and make people's lives better, because it drove me nuts when I was the vendor and I had to do it the hard way. It drove the clients nuts. Everyone's frustrated.
Yeah.
So we built a tool that empowers the people who actually have to deliver this. Often it's the producer, it's a post-production supervisor, and then there are other stakeholders, all to collaborate together and to be able to drive it themselves, and most importantly, make unlimited do-overs. So every time you see another typo, you can just go in, make a change, click a button, and you get a new render just minutes later.
Makes the process way more streamlined.
That's Endcrawl, yes. And over 1,000 films have used us now. And we recently just, my business partner and I, my co-founder, Alan Groh, we quit our day jobs and went full-time to grow this business.
That is pretty cool. And you said your business, so the product is being used in how many different states?
I recently went through all of our invoicing history and looked at all the addresses. And we have customers in 20 different countries, but in 42 different US states, plus DC. So we like to say filmmakers are everywhere, but we really mean that. Filmmakers are everywhere. I have really interesting customers in Maine and in Baltimore and in Omaha. And people are making movies not just in New York and LA. And I'm not talking about productions that just go there and then come back here. They're filmmakers who are just based all over the place now.
So from indies up to the blockbusters.
The blockbusters are more centered here for sure.
Right, but people that are using your
Absolutely,
tools
yes.
throughout.
We have studios using us now. We have some site licenses there, all the way down to just a $100,000 Kickstarter movie, trying to figure out how to do this.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So from your perspective, what are you seeing as trends in the industry? What do people need to look out for?
Everything's going to cloud. That's maybe not the newest insight, but there are still so many opportunities to not just streamline something or make something 10% more efficient. With Endcrawl, we look at it as a 10x or 100x play. Meaning literally, it used to take me a day to get like another 4K render. Now I can get it in 20 minutes. That's literally 100 times faster.
Yeah.
And to get a quick revision, might take at least 4 hours. Now I can get it in 2 or 3 minutes. So we're focused on doing things that are not just small efficiencies, but are real game changers. And we're focused on doing things for the people who are actually producing the content, making their lives easier. I think there are still 100 plays like that out there in our industry, and I hope more people, are inspired, by their own pain points. Because Endcrawl was me scratching my own itch. At the same time, it can be difficult to find funding for companies like this. A typical tech startup, the script that's evolved over the last 10 years is you raise venture capital, institutional money, and you have to be a unicorn, meaning a company that's going to be worth at least $1 billion or bust. And there's very little in between. So a few years ago, we actually dipped our toes in that water. We said, can we raise? And we learned the phrase venture scale. And Endcrawl is very much not venture scale. I think it's a very viable business. We're never going to be a $1 billion company. That's okay. But then what are your options? Well, small businesses typically would go to a bank, take out a bank loan. But a bank wants to see collateral. If you have a software company, your collateral is, I don't know, we own a couple of MacBooks. That's about it.
Yeah.
We couldn't show any large pieces of,
It's intellectual property, not...
Exactly, and it's not the same thing. So there's this huge gap in the capital market. So we raised a $500,000 seed round. It was really exciting because about a third of that money came from our own customer base. So it came from producers and small facility owners, people like that. And then some of it came from people that I had never met before, just high net worth individuals. Again, filmmakers are everywhere, investors are everywhere. I raised $20K from San Francisco, a little over $100K from New York and LA, and the rest from Pacific Northwest, Utah, just people anywhere.
Really?
anywhere. So it's a distributed world. My lead investor lives in Rio de Janeiro. So it's very much a global world, and it's a distributed world now.
Well, there are a lot of people out there that are creating tools to help make
Yes.
as a vendor, their life easier. So, so there is a path for them if they want to go out and do it on their own.
It's a really exciting time because all types of new capital and new investment structures are coming into the market. And I think if done right, it will unleash a new wave of entrepreneurship and productivity. I've been speaking to a lot of people in our industry recently who are in a similar position. They have something, maybe they just have a proof of concept, or maybe they have a little bit of traction and going, how can I raise? And 5-10 years ago, first of all, I would have said, I don't know. Now there's just sort of a glut of different types of investment structures and different types of ways to spin up this kind of business.
Very cool. Well, Pliny, thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Good to see you again.
Always a pleasure, Randy.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Pliny, Randy Altman, SMPTE 2019.